Ward Castle, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard worldwide on fitfmja.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. Good evening, my people. How are you this evening? I am your girl, Dr. Asha Mwendo, coming live from the studios of Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music, and you know you're listening to Healing Moments this evening. As usual, Healing Moments stand with the call for elimination of violence against our women and our girls. We'll never stop saying that until we no longer have to say that. So we needed to join with us. Of course, we have an awesome program lined up for you this evening. My guest in studio she's already here beside me, Miss Yvonne Dunkley. You'll hear all about cancer survivor and wellness philanthropist. That's what I'm naming her. I don't know what she called herself. So you know the drill already. This evening, our conversation is survival and purpose. Right? That's what we are all about, survival and purpose. But you know the drill already. You're going to tell a friend, get your pen, get your sip, listen to this bit of music until we come right back.
Grace. Can't do without it. Yeah. Thank you. Some say I would, said I couldn't. Wondered if I could. Battles in my head. Times I felt lost and broken. Felt like I couldn't make it through the day. But I know God has spoken, and He promised not to leave me. So I'm standing here today saying, how did I get here? I call it grace, grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, I call it grace brought me here. God, if it wasn't for your grace. Times I felt lost and broken, felt like I would have never made it through the day. But I know God has spoken, and he promised not to leave me. Never knew you'd still be here. Never knew you'd still be sane. Never knew you'd smile again. Never know you'd hope again. So I'm standing here today singing, how did I get here? I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here, God. If it wasn't for your grace. Have you ever been through something and come out on the other side and looked back and wondered how? You know it's a miracle, 'cause God is with you. 'Cause without him, where would we be? I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, oh, I call it grace, grace, oh, grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace,
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I tell you, I know all about grace. I walk because of God's unmerited favor. That's why I'm here with you today. You have heard my story time and time again, but we'll get into that a little time. You know, we're doing our Let's Talk segment. First thing, I want to pick up all our children for this Child Month. Remember now, listen up. Our children voices matter. And that's what we are focusing on for this month. And I'm asking all of us to make our children feel special. Let them know they are special. Let them know they are important to us, right? And coming up on Sunday, what's happening? What's happening? Mother's Day. And yes, we want you to make all the mothers around you feel special. Because guess what? Whether you let them feel it or not, they are. But we just have to remind them that they are our anchor. We want us to, in the homes, raise the status of our women. Let them realize, let them understand that this nation, no nation grows without our rockers of the cradle, our mothers, right? So let's support our mothers this Mother's Day. Let them feel special. Get up, cook them breakfast, give them, look after the house for them. Make them do nothing, make them slung out a door, put their foot on the ground and become anchored with the earth and get some healing and not do nothing. No, so I didn't say let them cock up their foot. No, I want them to touch Mother Earth with their bare foot and start the healing of our mothers. Let's lift the status of our women in our household. We are important women. So I'm going to say to you mothers now, Julia, listen. In case John forget that she's to make you special, know that you are special. But me know John not going to forget still. But listen to me, if you are a mother this coming Sunday and they forget to do what they are supposed to do, treat yourself. Treat yourself, you are special. And we will keep the mothers who have lost their kids along the way in our prayers as well. Because we know these days can be difficult and challenging. So we'll be keeping you in prayers and we're supporting you. You are not alone. But if on Mother's Day you feel lonely, you feel depressed, reach out. Someone will be there to hold your hand. Just reach out. And so many things happening this month. This month is also mental health focus. And we want us to focus on our mental health. Ladies, depression is a big thing among us, and I'm not going to get help. Listen to me. We prefer, I know I prefer, to hold your hand, sit beside you, not say nothing, just be there. I promise you, you can get a listening ear and a comforting shoulder and a silent mouth when you want someone to talk to. I will listen, you can cry on my shoulder, and I have no desire to share your story. So I will not tell anybody. And as I say to people, I will talk your story for you if you will pay me to do it. No free advertisement around here. Not talking your business for you unless you pay me to talk it. So if you don't pay me for talk it, you know you're safe, right? So therefore, let's remember our mental health is of extreme importance. I want us to reach or get help. The first step in getting help is accepting that you need help. So when you know that you need help and you reach out for help, help is always available. And as the month progresses, we'll be looking at different things you can do to take care of your mental health. But this evening, we're not focusing so much on giving you those tidbits. We have other things we're going to talk about. My next topic in our Let's Talk is this conversation about the abortion story that's going on and men sitting down in rooms who don't have no womb nor vaginas making decisions for what women do with their bodies. No, I am not going to say I support abortion or I don't support abortion. That's not my conversation this afternoon, this evening. My conversation this evening is that a woman's body is hers and she should be given the right to make choices for it. I don't support us using abortion as a form of contraceptive. Because there are other easier, more humane forms of contraceptive to prevent you from getting pregnant in the first place. But it's an option that is needed for women who fall into a need for one reason or another. So I heard one of my friends, Patrick, who said that women should come out. No, on Patrick Beckford said on Facebook that women should come out and pass a law that prevents men from using condoms and getting Viagra. No, I have no problem with the Viagra story, but I would not want our women to pass a law that is going to affect their sexuality and making their sexual decisions, because we need our men to put on the condoms more. And if more men were putting on the condoms, we wouldn't have any need for abortion sometimes. So it's a catch-22. So if we're going to say we're going to go against the men and say we're not going to use condoms, we're also going to be punishing ourselves. It's like what my grandmother said, they cut off your nose to spite your face. So we don't want that. What we want is equity. Equitable right for both men and women to do what they need to do. And remember, negotiating sex and all that jazz is not easy for all of us. Some women have a challenge or find it impossible to negotiate their sexuality. If they're going to use condom, they're not going to use condom. Some women who do abortion is not because they want to do it. The men who are in higher positions are the ones who give them the money and tell them you have to get rid of it. And we also have mothers who sometimes force their young girls to do abortion. So there are all kind of stories around abortion. So it's a story that needs to continue. The conversation needs to continue, but let's not do it in a way where we spite others or we punish others, or you take away my right to my body and to make the decisions that I need to make for myself because I am in a position to do so. I need to have my right, and all my sisters should have their right. So over there in the US where you're taking away people's right, come on, man. You can't take away the woman their right. They need to keep that going. And so it's a conversation that we'll continue to have as well on women's rights and the right to your body, and not to have men still deciding what a woman does with her body. Hi, come on. Guide, provide laws that supports, and don't do laws that will take away our rights, okay? Now, On my other Facebook point that I want to do my Let's Talk on, I saw where it was posted on Facebook with a mom who had her child on a leash attached to her, and some persons were saying should they treat the pitney like a dog or all of these things. Foolishness. When my kids are in their 30s, and when they were young, I had leash for them. When you go out in public, you want to know your child is safe. It's not always convenient to hold on to the child's hand because sometimes you need both hands to carry out different transactions. And I prefer to see a child with a leash connected to them than to see mothers have to be running down all over the place trying to hold a child, or the child stand the risk of going missing. In other countries, I know people tie the children on the outside of supermarkets and other businesses by leash, and everybody see the child is there, the child is safe. You're going into supermarkets, you have that child connected to you. When you feel that tug, you will know the child is wandering away from you. So for me, it's a good thing that that mom, knowing what she was going out to do, going to be busy, she had the leash on that child. It wasn't around the child's neck. So I don't see anything wrong with it. But guess what? I do realize we're all entitled to our own opinions. But as it says, we're not entitled to our own facts, right? So all of this is about an opinion. I don't see anything wrong with a mom connecting her child to her body for the child's safety and for the mom's peace of mind. And also helps you to be able to focus on things that you need to do without being too concerned. And also it prevents the mom from having to be micromanaging the child and calling the child often until the child become annoyed and miserable. So the child have a little of freedom. So sometimes when we are forming opinions, bear people's circumstances in mind, and that will make life easier for everybody. Now over in this Runaway Bay, we're still having the farmers market, and it is still happening at if I tell you in Runaway Bay. And remember, booth spaces are available. Lots of nice things are there, fresh foods and vegetables. Tomorrow go out. And on every first Friday of every month, they have Thursday, Friday. So it's a double up market. And then on the Friday, they start from 11 o'clock and it's party non-stop. The food is good. I tell you, you have seen me posting my fish. When they prepare my fish and put it before me, I have to take a picture for posterity. Almost don't want to eat it. And the taste ton up. There are other wonderful foods there, but you have to go and taste those for yourself. I can only tell you about the fish, right? So the fish is awesome, and nobody else complains about the food that is provided there. Thursdays and Fridays. So go out and support. If you want more information, contact Jennifer at 876-853-4455. And down in Westmoreland, I am really, really pleased with what is happening down there. My friend Dave is leading the charge in trying to get a structure up for those blind women who, when rainfall, them wet. So they needed somewhere to live. We came together. We have been trying our best to support them. The house is going up real nicely. They cast over the windows. They start casting the windows this week. And we need your support to put the roof on. So we still need your support. We still need you to send your contributions to Dave Gale. You'll find him on Facebook, YouTube, and all social media platforms as Dave Gale. He still have CDs selling, $1,000 for one. And when you buy those, it goes straight into the charity program. So please reach out to Dave. So that's it for my Let's Talk this evening. After you listen to this bit of music and come right back, I'll introduce my guest and we'll get the flow going.
They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. So Lord, we wait on you 'cause you're only here. You wake up this morning with your mindset on the Lord. Never know the things would I get so rough, but me beg you hold on to God. One thing you fit do is cut and go through, holy faith no compromise. Cause every struggle that you face in the night, prepare you for the sunrise. It a go change one day, change one day. But while you with me, I go praise you anyway. Change one day, change one day. Lord, give us the strength that we need. Change one day, change one day. But while you with me, I go praise you anyway. Change one day, change one day. Come on this evening from another hard day. That can be crazy, but me can't say the way. My heart is to please the King. If it wasn't for him, don't know where I would have been. Sometimes bad shoes I do it, tin boom my beat, sunshine turn up, work hard as street. May I have to take it easy, cause God I know you walking with me. Change one day, change one day. But while you with me, I go praise you anyway. Change one day, change one day. Lord, give us the strength that we need. Change one day, change one day. But while you with me, I go praise you anyway. Change one day, change one day. It I go change, no matter what nobody wants to say. Trust God and hold the faith. Make you hold out another day. Whoa, it I go change, no matter what nobody wants to say. Trust God and hold the faith. Make you hold out another day. It I go change one day, change one day. But while you with me, I go praise you anyway. Change one day, change one day. Lord, give us the strength that we need. Change one day, change one day.
Okay, welcome back, welcome back. I want to reach out to all my listeners. Thank you for joining us. You know, you're talking with your girl, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And this evening, I want to pick up all our listeners. Sanctuary Ministries International, thank you for being with us. And everyone else who is listening on all the social media platforms and listening to us live, all my guests in Africa and all the continent. And now I want to pick up a good friend. She used to be here with us on Fit FM, and I know she'll soon come back. Right, so I have my friend Carleen Street. I want to thank you for joining us. And yes, we tell you, Yvonne, see us already. And we know she's your friend. I thank you for the
together.
So they grew up together. And I thank you for reaching out. You contact me for one thing prior, and you see what prayer do? She is in studio, girl, with me. So my guest this evening, I'm going to tell you three or four things about her, and then she will do the rest. So as I told you before, her name is Yvonne Dunkley. She is a Jamaican that lives foreign, but comes home very often. She loves her country, loves her people, and she's God-fearing. She's the mother of 4 girls, and gentlemen, you know I love you, my brothers, and I normally recommend good things for you. She's single. So if you're listening and watching, you see how she look good? Yes, she is single. But I warn you, say she don't want no problem. We know you men are not very good at not being problems, but with my help, we will curve you up if you need a little curving. So remember now, she is single and available to mingle. You can work out the other details when you contact her. Remember now, me is not a matchmaker and no go between. So I don't need to know the business, but she's single. And for me, the excitement is that, you know, I love conquerors. I am a conqueror myself, and I support conquerors in everything. And she's 12-year cancer conqueror. And she's going to tell us her story this evening. She wants to watch the do Jamaica. And I run up and down and I carry on and all of the tiredness and excitement that she's carrying on with, and why I call her a wellness philanthropist. You're going to hear all of that this evening. So my friend, my guest, Yvonne Wagwan.
Nothing man.
All right. So she said, nothing one, but me not believe her because all the things that happen. But yes, I see that you are doing well. I see that you are happy. You are here and you have a friend with you sitting outside. So you can big her up.
Big up Joan Samuels and Beryl Sterling, who was with me at the Cornwall Regional Department, the Oncology Department. Today,
Okay.
all day.
So, what you doing at the people of hospital?
Oh, I love my people. There's just something about, I don't know what it is, but I love Jamaica and I love my people. And because I am a survivor, I know what when a person is going to do chemo,
Yes.
the stress that it brings on, the fear of the unknown, and the actual process of taking in the chemo. I mean, it's a mental thing, and I just want to be there to hold their hands and let them know that it is okay and that God will carry them through.
Oh yes, he is a supporter, a survivor. He takes you to the highest heights.
Yes, he
You just got
does.
to believe.
Mhm.
So no, you tell me you're a 12-year cancer conqueror. So we're gonna go a little bit to the beginning.
Mhm.
Well, some of the beginnings. So tell us your story, your diagnosis, your journey up until this 12 years.
Well, as she said, my name is Yvonne Dunkley and I am a breast cancer survivor. At the age of 35, my doctor told me I should start doing a mammogram because I have one of those lumpy breasts, when you feel your
Okay.
breast and all you're feeling is just lumps. So I started at 35. And at 45, I think 45, I went in just for a routine mammogram. And as the technician put my breast on the machine, I noticed her facial expression was changing. And so I looked at her, is something wrong? And she said, I would like you to get dressed and sit outside and let the doctor come and speak with you. And as I sat there, everybody came in, everybody got their breasts done and they left. And I'm sitting there over almost an hour. And I went to her and I said, is something wrong? Because I am sitting here with a straight face. I am sitting here for almost an hour. Everybody came in, everybody leaves, and I'm sitting here. Why am I sitting here?
Right.
And she got the radiologist, and she came and she told me that they found a shadowing. Now, at this point, when she told me that, the only thing that she could see was cancer in my head. So it's cancer. I don't remember anything else that she said. It was in my head, and this mental thing,
Yes.
I tell you, it's a topic that we really need to talk about because before they diagnosed me, I already diagnosed myself. I have cancer. I remember leaving the office, and before I leave the office, she told me that I need to do a biopsy. This is how they will know if it's cancerous and the stages and so forth. So, it was a Friday. I told her that I would do it now. And she said, oh, we don't have any more appointment for the day. You'd have to do it on Monday. Well, let me tell you something. We talk about timing. Those were the longest days on this earth. My days were years. My minutes were hours. And I asked God, could you just wipe away Sabbath and Sunday so that Monday could come?
Right.
And let me tell you something, he did not. And I had to go through those 2 days. I was a mental wreck. I was depressed. I was in bed, and I diagnosed myself I have breast cancer. And the Monday morning I went, and they did the biopsy. Long story short, they told me I have breast cancer. One of the things I asked was, what next? Because I knew nothing about breast cancer. I always hear they talk about it on the radio and in church. It's one conversation I never want to hear about. You know why I didn't want to hear about it? Because we associate cancer with death.
Yes.
Who wants to hear anything about something that is gonna get you sad? And so when she told me that, she also told me that I'll have to do a mastectomy. I have no clue what that word meant. So I asked, what does that mean? He said, we'll have to cut your breast off. I said, my breast? Do you know how long I waited to get those breasts? I was one of those late boomers.
Oh.
Everybody in class were busted and I had nothing, flat chest.
Mhm.
And I got them, and now
You want to take it?
you want to cut them off?
Mm.
She said yes. I said no, I can't see that you cut my breasts off. But she cut it off. And now
Mhm.
what I want to tell people, because now I'm doing breast cancer awareness and helping others,
Yes.
I always hear, me not cut my breasts off because my man want breasts. Well, let me
It's
tell
gonna
you
kill
something.
you.
If you don't cut it off, you are gonna die, and then the man won't have nothing at all.
No, he'll get another breast.
He'll get another breast, right? So I did my I did the mastectomy, and I did 6 rounds of chemo with 3 different drugs.
Wow.
At the end of that, my head was bald. I had neuropathy. Neuropathy is associated with diabetes, so it's a
Mhm.
nerve pain.
Mhm.
My fingernails were black, my eyelash was gone, my eyebrow were gone, everything was gone. And then I did 35 sessions of radiation.
Wow.
That was the killer.
Mhm.
At the end of that, where they cut my breast off, that circular, that's where they aim the laser on in order to kill whatever life cells
Might have been left back.
what the chemo did not kill.
Mhm.
They want to make sure
There's
everything
nothing.
is killed.
Mhm.
And it was burnt off. You could smell the raw flesh. I will tell the story in details more, because we're gonna have a good time telling you
Yes.
how my pain become my ministry,
Purpose. Yes.
my purpose. I did the 35 sessions of radiation, and at the end of that, I could not spell my name.
Wow. And that is after going to university.
Yes, I have a degree,
Right.
a bachelor's degree.
Mhm.
Yes,
Because I want that to come out to let people know that it wasn't because you couldn't read before
right.
chemo. You did finish school, went to university, have your bachelor's, have your degree, and after chemo, you could not spell your own name.
And I was determined that where Satan had me, he was not going to keep me.
Amen.
These were times that I reflect back on my mother, who could not read and write, who sent me to Harrison Memorial High School
Mhm.
and West Indies College back then. And my school fee was paid on time. When I was going to Harrison, I did not want to go to Harrison because all they teach was Bible.
That's where my
Bible.
mom went.
That's where your mom went? I wanted to go play netball. Netball always keep on
Mhm.
Sabbath,
Mhm.
because that's what I wanted for me.
Yes.
But the Lord had another plan.
yes.
The Lord had another plan. I remember Sabbath. Sabbath is a whole day. As a
Yes.
child, it's a whole day. It torments
I
you.
still hold you. It's just because I understand how to use it a little better now.
But one of the things that I remember distinctly was, we do every 3 months we get a quarterly, and we have to
Mhm.
study it.
Yes.
And every week it has a different memory verse.
Yes.
And then at the 13th Sabbath, you have to recite all
Every
13
13
scriptures.
13 of them.
Well, let me tell you something. It was for a reason.
yes.
Because I remember the day when they told me they need a PET scan. I had no clue what PET scans.
Mm.
So I went in the lab. They took my clothes off. They gave me an IV with a contrast in there, this warm thing
Yes.
going in your blood. They said what it will do is it will blow up
Differentiate.
any if there's any bad cell, it will blow it up so they could see it.
Mhm.
So after she finished, gave me the IV, she said, I need to go into the machine behind me. When I looked, it was a coffin. I said, sweetheart, I will die inside here. I'm claustrophobic. I said, if the cancer doesn't kill me, that's what's going to kill me. And she rubbed my back. And this is why
Mhm.
now in my life,
Mhm.
I want to hold others' hand
Yes.
because God had my back.
Oh,
God has
yes.
provided so many people to help me walk down that road. I remember the lady rubbing my back and she said, "Sweetheart, you got it. You're a big girl."
Yes.
And then she took my hand and she lead me to the machine and I lined that thing and I started to sing. You know, Harrison, every morning is worship, you know.
Yes.
And I remember all the way my Savior leads me. Let me tell you something. That song, I don't see any Harrison who's supposed to graduate and don't know that song. And I started to sing my song all the way my Savior leads me. What have I to ask beside? Can I doubt his tender mercies, who through life has been my guide? And I sing that song and I started to, there was another one, all my maker and my king.
Yes.
And I started.
That is the Adventist anthem.
Yeah.
I can tell you it's number 15 in the
In the
hymn.
song, yes.
That's our anthem.
It is. And my memory verses.
Yes.
Oh, that brought me
And you see,
through.
as you talk about that, it brings to my mind when we were being taught that
Oh,
learn these.
you're Seventh-day Adventist?
I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, but I just didn't tell you.
I didn't know you were.
See? So I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm a master guide. I'm all of that and
All the works.
all of it. But when it says to you that learn these memory verses, learn your Bible, read your Bible,
It's for a
understand the text.
reason.
Because guess what?
But then
On
you
an
need later.
ordinary day, you ask me, I cannot tell you one verse nor where it is found. But in the time of trouble, they come back to you
They do.
to provide that
Comfort you.
stabilizing comfort
Mhm.
that you
Mhm.
need to do
Yes.
your journey.
Yes.
Because when I had to go into that MRI machine myself, is them something they help me to manage
Carry
in
you
that
through.
coffin there and come back out? And I remember fortunately when I did it in Montego Bay, I did Montego Bay a number of times. I get wonderful treatment, wonderful support and guidance. The ones I did in Kingston was a little bit rough because the persons who were there to take care of you, they're doing other things. Even the last one I did a couple of years ago, about 3-4 years ago, in 2018, I had to do one. And the lady put me in something, and this is what they said is open. But I still lock up.
Still lock up.
And she gonna talk people business and leave me all by myself. They give me one bus, I'm a principal, and I said, take me out. And she said, it's just a little more miss. And she come and I said, this is how you're gonna do it, take me out. No, I'm not dying in here. And she talked me a little down and I finished it. But it's not easy. Just doing this kind alone is not easy.
And this is why I am here to hold others' hands.
Yes.
Because I have been there.
Yes.
And I know what it is. So after chemo and radiation, I was mentally flat. I thought God left me.
Yeah.
He was looking after everybody else and left me. I remember going to the doctor and I started to tell him, I can't read, my head is bald. And I started to give him a whole long list. And he sat there looking at me. Well, because I was using a cane at then.
Okay. I didn't do chemo, so I didn't have that drama and trauma.
Because of the neuropathy,
Yes.
I was walking with a cane. And he looked at me and he said, let me explain something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever built a house? And I'm wondering, where is he going?
Mm.
He said, well, it's like an electrician come and wire the entire house, and there come a storm.
Mm-hmm.
And the storm just chopped the wires them pop, different direction.
Mm-hmm.
That is what happened in your body.
Yeah.
The nerves. And let me tell you something. When he was finished with me, I was so sad. I reached home and I wanted to just disappear.
Yes.
And there comes a call from one of my church daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she's from Antigua.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I saw her name, I said, Nina, where are you from? And she said, Antigua. I said, I want to go there. She said, Auntie, why you want to go there? I said, I want to go somewhere where I know nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to disappear disappear, literally disappear. And I don't want to go anywhere where nobody could see me. I couldn't even read. It was just one of my lowest moments where I felt like God forgot me and I felt inferior.
Yes. And I wanted to stick a pin here, and I hope my listener in Bromson that I've asked to join us this evening, who her story is that she's saying, I have given all my life to God. I got into the church young. I stayed. She's not a Seventh-day Adventist, but she's in her church.
Mm-hmm.
I got married, had my kids. My husband left me. I had to struggle to support these kids, and I remained faithful to God and myself. I didn't take up another man. I take care of my siblings. I do everything. Now she is unwell. Kind of blame the doctors who have been treating her for one thing for over 7 years. And just last week, tell her that is not what is wrong with her, it's something else.
7 years?
After 7 years. And so she's at home, and her thing is, I don't want to talk to anybody because God have been unkind to me after I have been so faithful.
Well,
And it happens. It happens.
I want to talk to that lady.
Yes.
I don't know
wanted to
who you
talk to
are,
her.
but I want to tell you that it is when we feel as if God leaves us.
That's when he's
That is when He's there.
carrying
It's carrying you. You can only see that one footsteps in the sand. That is God's footstep.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. I came home and I packed my bag and I was going to, and she said, okay, let me ask my mom if you could come. Her mom called back and said, yes, I could come. So I started to pack my bag. The kids came home and I sat them down. I told them that I am going to Antigua,
Mhm.
my middle daughter, because I'm a jokeified person and I laugh after everything. And she said, is that one of your moments again? So I said, no, I'm going to Antigua. She said, where is Antigua, Mom?
Mhm.
I said, I have no clue. But wherever it is, I will call you and let you know where it is. And I packed. And I remember her boyfriend was there. And he was there sitting there looking at me, just staring at me as if I'm crazy. And when the conversation finished, he said to me, Mom, how are you going to get there?
Mhm.
Did you know that I packed, got all my pills? And in those days, I was a walk-in pharmacy because you take pills for
Yes.
one thing and then you have to take it for the side effects.
Mhm.
And I could not process that I needed to take a plane.
Yes.
That's how bad chemo and radiation did to me. I will do it again and again, ladies. That's how bad it did to me. I couldn't process the whole conversation.
Mhm.
And so I was going to Antigua, but in my head, I have not made plans that I need to actually buy a flight in order to reach there.
Right.
So he said to me, I said, what do you mean? He said, Mom, you have to take a plane. Did you buy a ticket?
Right.
I said, oh my God, I didn't even do that. I didn't reach there yet.
But your pap.
He was working for Delta. And he
Okay.
said, don't worry, I got your back. And he gave me a buddy pass.
Mhm.
$25 I paid to go to Antigua from Atlanta
Yes. Back then.
back then. And let me tell you something. The lady picked me up. And when we reached her home, as I was running my suitcase still, and she closed her door, there comes the door knock. And she answered. It was this man that they called Mr. Terrific.
Okay.
Mr. Terrific came in the house. He's a comedian.
Okay.
And I don't even think until now she knew why he came there. Mr. Terrific came in the house and she said, meet Nina's aunt in America. She has breast cancer. Huh? Mr. Terrific face lit up. You have breast cancer? And I'm standing there like, where did this man come from? With that smile on his face, asking me if I had breast. What was in those two sentences that lit him up like that?
Mhm.
And as I sat there, I nod my head because I'm in another world. Like
Yes.
I would just curse him out or something. And he was on his phone
Mhm.
and he said to us that I want you on Good Morning Antigua. And I had no clue what that meant neither. So I said, what is that? He
Mhm.
said, our television, we have one television in Antigua and that's the television.
Mhm.
So I said to him, you want me on television? Why? Why would I go on a television? I can't even spell my name. I don't know, wouldn't even know what to answer. I know nothing about cancer. All I know and what I was going through was pain.
Mhm.
And he said to me, while he's on his phone, apparently who he was texting told him that I had them Monday morning, 8:45, they want me. While he's texting,
Mhm.
I said to him, sir, I have nothing to say because I don't even know what is cancer. I only know me going through that process.
Mhm.
And he said to me, and today I want to tell people that God can use you in any way.
Yes.
Any way that he fits, he chooses to use you.
Yes.
And if you make yourself available,
Available. Yes.
he can do mighty work through you. He said to me, you have a story, but you just don't know the story.
Yes.
And I found out about the story later.
Amen. And as you said, what you're going through, and I always say to my listeners, any illness that come upon you is for 3 reasons. Either you're disobeying the laws of health, or you're disobeying God's laws, or simply for the glory of God. Sometimes we never know why. But in all the reasons, whether it's because you're disobedient to one law or the other, or for the glory of God, He is right there,
Always.
waiting to pick up
Always.
the slack. The other thing about my God is, He's there in push up, in bounce you, in do everything, but He'll never force you against your will. So if you're feeling bouncing this evening, tell Him you're ready. He will help you to walk through. Because He's like that. Him push up, him bounce you around, him there, reminding you that I am right here.
Mhm.
But He'll not force you to give Him your hand. Remember, the key to Him coming into your life is on the inside of the door.
Mhm.
You gotta open it to let Him in.
Open
But
it.
I'm telling you this, when you let Him in, you'll never regret it. We're gonna play a little bit of our music again. And I want you to listen to what you have been hearing. And I want you to get ready for the next phase of the story. Because when she comes back, she's going to tell you about the story that was being written by God
Yes.
that she was to carry out.
Yes. Yes.
Kevin Downtown. I don't know who you are, and I don't know where you are. God said to tell you, it's already done. My friend, you're coming out. You're coming out. God is speaking. I see you wondering why me in the midst of your adversity. God is speaking. But if you dare trust in me, I will supply all you need. I will take you over. I will take you over. I will never leave. To you I will cleave. I'm standing right there in the midst of your fear. I will be your brother, man. Stay close to me, my son. It's already done. It's already done. The victory is won. It's already done. I will not die here, even though I've cried here. The victory is won. It's already done. Ryan, I often ask why me, why they took my family. Oh, yeah. And when the world is falling on my shoulders, yes, I fall on my knees. Whoa, Lord, take me over. Please take me over. Please do not leave. To you I will cleave. I know that you're right there, standing in my Stay close to me, master. It's already done. It's already done. You said it's done, then it's already done.
Yes, your nurse have been telling you it's already done. So guess what? Your healing is up ahead, waiting on you to get there. It is already
Already
done. And that's the way you ought to live, knowing that your master is in control. He has provided everything you need for the next step of the journey. You just need to take the step. So you took the step, you went on the radio program. Tell me the rest of the story.
When
Tell
I
me.
went on the radio station, I didn't know. First thing, I didn't know what they were going to ask,
Mm-mm.
and that was the unknown
Yes.
because I didn't know how I was going to respond
Mm-hmm.
and what to respond to because I was limited with knowledge, and that I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Of course not.
But whatever they asked me,
Mm-hmm.
that switchboard lit up.
Yes.
People were calling for me to come and talk at your church and different newspaper. It was
Stick a pin. People calling you to come do things. I hide the guide.
yes. For real.
Yes, you didn't hide.
Let me tell you something. I was doing 2 programs a day.
Mm-hmm.
I was going in the morning doing one, and then in the night I would go to Sunday churches. In the nights when they have program, the Sabbath, I was just busy.
In hiding.
I thought I went to hide myself,
Amen.
but God had another plan for me.
Yes.
I went and I spent 21 days in Antigua,
Mm-hmm.
and the person who went in Antigua was left there.
Amen.
A new person
Came
came
out.
out.
Amen.
I felt alive, fulfilled. I
Purpose.
felt like I had a purpose. I remembered, I'll give you this one. I remember going to the market one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I saw this older man. His head was hanging down in the basket, and it was guinea. So now I found something that I knew.
Mhm.
I excited, and I went over and I said, "Sir, how do you sell the guineas?" And when he looked up, because Antigua is a very small island,
Yes.
he said to me, "But no, you are the one breast lady that was on Good Morning
Okay.
Antigua."
Yes, lady. In
And I
hiding.
looked at him and I said, "Yes." And when I said yes to him was when I realized that I was whole with a one breast.
Yes, you're still whole.
Still whole, and my self-esteem was not in the ground again. Because I tell you something, if he had said that to me before
Mm-hmm.
I went to Antigua, I probably would have strangled him.
But you see, the Lord have to take you in as this seed that is in hiding, repurposed you that
Mhm.
your healing can begin.
True.
And he had to let you realize the healing process started before you leave Antigua. So you're leaving Antigua a whole person.
A whole person. When I came
Mhm.
back, let me tell you something. I told my children, I'm going to have Thanksgiving with you and I'm going to have Christmas with you. But the 2nd of January, I am going home. Guess where it's home?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Somebody asked me, why didn't you come at that time when you felt low? I said no, because
wasn't
if
the
I had
time.
come to Jamaica, I'd have met all my friends.
And you're not trumpety party.
I would not, probably not. I don't think I would have able to address my situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody would say, let's go do this, and I'm gone. And so what I
There's
was
no
going through
healing.
would be hidden, you know. But while I was there, I got an opportunity to see who God was. In the morning early, we would go to the beach, we would sit there, and the lady is a homebody person, I would drag her out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I realized that there I was healed. I mean, healed enough to take me on my next journey. Not totally,
Mm-hmm.
but enough to take me to the next step. And I want to tell you another part of the journey was I couldn't read and write.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there over a year, the kids would leave and they would go to school and I would be there in my bed. I determined that Satan was not going to keep me down.
Amen.
And I got my paper and my pen. I was now in kindergarten.
Yes.
And I would get my pencil and I would draw the words. I wanted to spell W. It would be, because first I have to know how to pronounce the word W.
Yes.
And my brain now have to tell my finger how to draw the letter. And I would draw the letter and I would just sit there and I would sing Danny McClurkin song, Adam's song, all the songs. And I needed to lift me up.
Amen.
And I'm telling people out there, when we are sad, don't go jump in a bed with a man if you feel lift up. There is a God that can lift you up to the highest and you will be fine. I sat there for over a year learning to write again. And guess what came out of it?
Tell us.
I had a girlfriend who came to look for me. And when she came, she saw all these papers on the bed. And she said, Yvonne, why are you doing so much paper on the bed? Wait, you're in a kindergarten? And I said to her, Cheryl, yeah, I am in kindergarten. What do you mean? And she's a doctor. What do you mean you're in kindergarten? And I started to tell her. And she started to laugh. She said, "At that then called chemo brain."
Yes.
I had no clue what chemo brain meant. And so she was there telling me. And she said to me, continue to write. And the following week she came to look for me. She gave me topics and she said, write the topics. You don't forget about English. Forget about that. Draw it if you can. And just write.
Yes.
Anything come to you, you write it. And I would write and I would write and I would write. And she would come back and she would say, oh, this can take another 2 pages. Just write. And I would write. And about 3 months after that, she said to me, you're going to write a book. I said, a book. And I started to laugh. I was like, a book? Only scholars write book.
Yeah.
I can't even spell my name. I'm going to write a book. And she, every day she would come and she would give me topics and help me to write it. And she said, don't worry about the English. I tell you, I got you. And I would edit it and everything. And at the end, I was able to write a book with the help of her. As a matter of fact, you know what she told me? I told her that I want to put her name on it. She said, don't put my name on it. Because what you just went through is more therapeutic to me.
Amen.
Because when I saw what you go through, I realized, oh, blessed I am. And she was able to edit the book, and the book is called Smiling Through Breast Cancer. I wanted to put a positive sting on it because we always associate cancer with death. I wanted to release that because the thing is, once you have God with you, Anodette, and once you do your annual mammogram, your pap smear, the men go do your PSA, it can be caught early. And if it is caught early, you can live as ever.
Yes.
As ever. But the fear of us putting our breasts to do that on the machine, it's too painful. You know what is painful? It's when the doctor tells you have breast cancer. And remember that Jamaica have the best medical system. So it's going to even be triple worse. So we need to be proactive with our health. We need to go and do a colonoscopy, our PSA, let me tell you what we'll be doing. Can I tell you from now? I'm cutting it short.
Okay, so you're listening to Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. You're listening to my guest, Yvonne Dunkley, a cancer conqueror, who is telling us her story up until now. So she have been here with us in the country since recently, and she have a lot of projects coming up, and you're going to hear about them and hear how you can support the process as well. So here's what we wanted to do for us. Oh, put it for silence. Sorry. So we want you to know that we want you to listen up, see how you can be part of the process, to know what is happening here, right here in Trelawney.
Mhm.
But wherever you are in Jamaica, you can be a part of it. Wherever you are in the world, you can support the processes that we do. Remember, wellness is a choice, but it's a choice you must make for your own health.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have health, somebody will have to spend it for you,
Mhm.
on you, and they might not do it the way you want to. And it is all good and well to have, I know we speak of passing on prosperity to our family and our children, but you should want to enjoy some of what you have earned as well. And it is good to be able to move around and do your own thing. So she's going to tell you now what will be done to help you with early detection. And maybe it is later, you still don't know. But the only thing that is wrong about anything you are going through is doing nothing.
Mhm.
So, Miss Dunkley, tell us what it is you want to tell us.
When I came to Jamaica 2013,
Mm-hmm.
I went to my home church
Yes.
and they gave me Divine Hour and then
Mhm.
AY at another church.
Mhm.
And when people keep telling others about me, I find myself going to different churches. I probably did 80% of all the banks in Montego Bay.
Mhm.
And I did the tax office. I go to the craft market. Everywhere that a woman was, I've been there. And
Yes.
I'm encouraging them, do your mammogram. And let me tell you about a lady I met in the craft market. I went inside there, and mostly women are in the craft
Mhm.
market, and they gathered them together, and I'm telling them they should do their mammogram, and all I would hear, me not do no mammogram, me not have no money, and what money me have to fix it, pitting them, send them to school, and they found every excuse.
Mhm.
And before, I hope I remember this part. The lady, just remind me, the lady. Ladies, I want to tell you something.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter how much you look about your kids and you don't look about you. You will end up dying. And then it's going to be somebody else looking about them. And this treatment that they will be getting may not be that good. So we as women need to take care of us.
Amen.
Take care of ourselves. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing where we're taught that we look after our man and we look after our children and take ourselves for last. Well, let me tell you something. When you take a plane and you get in the plane, they tell you put that mask over your nose first, and then you put it on the child because you can't help anybody when you dead. So ladies, I'm begging you, look about yourself. When the lady that was in at the craft market, when everything was finished, because everybody telling me how all different stories why not they're not doing it. And I walked off, and this lady came up and she said to me, Miss, I'm feeling a pain in my breast. So I said to her, have you been to the doctor? Miss, you know how much pain me have? And I said to her, would you like to go to hospital? I will send you to hospital. I'll pay for it.
Mhm.
And she said, of course. And I said, meet me down Sam Chop Square. I took her to hospital. And when she went, I left to go back to the state to do my because I have to do my annual.
Mhm.
It was by at that time it was by. I have to do it every 6 months. So I went up and I came back down, and right where the Jamaica National Bank is to come up that little lane to come up to Sam Chop Square,
Mhm.
I was walking, and this person was just bearing down on me,
Mhm.
running towards me, and I moved to the right, and she moved to the right too. And it's like, what is this? And when she reached, she grabbed my neck, and all I could hear was, you saved my life.
Amen.
You saved my life. And I still don't know who it was. So I pushed my head back and was pushing her forward to see who it was. It was the lady in the craft market. She said, Miss, when I went out by hospital, they told me I had breast cancer. And I'm going to tell you something. Then it wasn't hospital, it was Hope something. Mobe Hope. It was Mobe Hope, and it was on the right hand side.
Mhm.
And she told me that when I was the first person that they're able to give her a free surgery.
Wow.
Aspitant. Gave her free surgery.
Awesome,
You hear
awesome.
me? She said they did it and they didn't charge me. And from then, every time I go out to talk, I would talk about Aspitant.
Yes,
To
their
pick them
promotion.
up.
Yes.
And the lady was fine. And one of the things I told myself after I left Antigua, wherever God leads me, I am going to go.
Yes.
And if it's one person I can help and reach, the rest of my life is worth living.
Yes.
And that day when she hugged me and she told me, I had the chills, and I knew that I was going on a journey. Didn't know where it was or how I'm going to get there, but I know God was leading. God was leading me. I started to do, I went to Sav Lamar for 6 months. And I big up those Sav Clinic and the hospital. Oh, my Father. It was like God just prepared those people there to just hold me and welcome me. The Angela Thorborn, as a matter of fact, I saw
That's my good friend.
let me
girl.
tell you, I saw her today at the oncology,
I
at
should
the
go.
hospital.
I need to talk to her,
she
you know.
is such a sweetheart.
She
She
awesome.
took me in and she brought me in the hills and the valleys of Westmoreland. And I was just telling people how to love God and depend on them and to go do your mammogram. In those days, the Cancer Society had the truck.
Yes.
So what I did was we did walks and all kind of fundraising to reduce the price, and then I would get the mammogram truck to come into Sav on Montego Bay too at the conference office. But the truck is gone, and let me tell you something. Now that I'm right here in Jamaica, I am more driven. We have to have a mobile truck, and when I finish this program at Falmouth Prep School on October 15th, 16th, and 17th. Feed the Fight Breast Cancer Awareness is collaborating with several churches to do mammogram, pap smear, and PSA. And we will be reducing the price because we're going to have a breast cancer walk. We want everybody to support the walk because that is the money that is going to reduce the price in order for you to get the price for it at a reasonable price, because it's $10,000 at G West to do a mammogram and $6,500 at Island Radiology. And we need to get the price down because it will attract more women or people to come in and do their screening.
So, if you are listening right now, wanted to listen to the rest of the conversation. Right. So, if you're listening now, I want you to remember October is coming up.
Heroes Weekend.
And it's going to be right here in Falmouth at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Falmouth. We need your support to make sure one sister, one daughter can go and do her pap smear and do her mammogram. And we also need the men to come out and do their prostate test. I know we call it PSA, but I want the men to exactly know what we're talking about. Come and check out your prostate health. Remember, men, you don't want to lose the use of that little penis that God has blessed you with.
It's true.
And a lot of you are afraid to lose your women, and afraid of bun. So one of the ways of taking care of ensuring that you're least likely to get bun is to know where they go on with the prostate and to make sure that Mr. Man can rise in the mornings and serve you through the day. So we want you to come out and do your test. I am also now talking to all our bankers or business people or all our community. Support the cause. Sponsor somebody. When the war comes, even if you can't walk, sponsor somebody to walk. Let's raise the funds that if we're not careful, the people are not paying nothing.
Right.
So let's come together. Wellness in Motion, my organization, I am on board.
Thank you.
And it's going to happen. Fit FM is on board. We are committing. So you hear it right here on Healing Moments this evening. That Healing Moments Wellness in Motion and Fit FM is partnering with Yvonne Dunkley and her team to ensure we walk, we raise funds, we take care of our sisters. So you see me now, me might not walk that mile
No,
there.
you're walking. I'll drag you.
But you see, you're threatening me. But I will make sure I sponsor walkers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get it happen. If it's even 2 bottles of water you can give a walker, bring it, come.
Mm-hmm.
Let's support the cause. Let's get well. Let's not talk of when breast cancer one comes. Let's not talk. Let's walk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put action into our talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want your sympathy. We want your empathy to support the process. Right? Continue, Michelle.
For the men, I want to let you know that one of the reasons why you shy away from it is because of the rectal examination. But I am telling you now that a simple lab work, blood work will do. We don't have to do the rectal anymore. Just drawing your blood and sending it to microlab, and they test it or do whatever they need to do, will tell if your prostate is
Healthy.
Is
Remind
healthy.
them of the dates again.
So let me remind you, it's Eros weekend. So it is going to be Sabbath. Sabbath, we're going to be at church. For those who want to come in the evening, we're going to prepare the classrooms to set up for the examination. And Sunday and Monday, we are going to have outreach. We are going to help everyone who comes. We're not only going to be doing mammogram, prostate, and we also going to have physicians, so you can come and get your checkup, your medical checkup. We're going to have
blood pressure check.
We're going to have everything there. We're most of all, we're going to have literatures to give you at the end of it to remind you that God is still alive, He's your friend, and He's there for you. We can't leave that part out.
Not at all.
Not at all. We got to remind you, God is still alive. Whatever you're going through, He's right there, and He will never leave you. So what happened was that from then, I started to do mission trips.
Right.
And I would bring in doctors. My last one was 2019. We did 1 day in Sam Shop Square and 3 days in the Brownstone Community College. We had and please pray for me. If Dr. Carlene Sinclair is listening, please pray for me. I had told everyone that we weren't going to do any mission trip this year because it's COVID. So it would be next year. But after going to a couple churches, and I realized there's so many, I'm in church and I'm asking, how many of you have ever done a mammogram? I've not done a mammogram. It's like all of them hands up. They haven't done a mammogram. And so this is what prompted me to now do this program. When she comes in, she actually brings a sonogram machine with her. And if she sees anything, she does the biopsy. And I have the pathology, and I work something out where he would do his work. So we actually have the whole process from beginning to end. And so I know that she's very busy. So people that are my prayer warriors out there, I want you to call her name and pray that she comes, because Jamaica would really benefit. She's a breast surgeon. And we have a radiologist too. Hopefully she'll come also. Everyone already have their whole schedule out for the year, you know. But I know that when God has a plan, not care how your schedule busy,
He was.
you just fit right in, you know. So on my journey, I have fall down and get up.
Yes.
And all of us, we will fall. But the problem is, don't stay down.
Not at all.
Is when you get up. Because you know what? 3 weeks ago, about a month ago, I was here and I had to go back to Atlanta to do my medical. I had to do a mammogram on my left breast, which is the good one, and MRI on the right one. Why do you do a MRI on your breast? because I did a reconstruction, from Hollywood, those breasts.
Oh, yes.
So I have one of those. And so in order to check to see if a cancer is there, they need to go behind the silicone to see if the wall of my chest is okay. And last week, last week Thursday, they called me back to let me know they found a mass on my right breast. And so I asked again. Remember back in 2010?
Yes,
I
yes,
asked
yes.
again, when can I come in to do a biopsy? And they told me May 12. I said, May 12, do you know how far that is? Like a whole month. And she said, yes, but they didn't have any other opening. So the first thing came to me was to go to another hospital. But when I called my friends and the doctor, they said, no, they already have all your documents, stay and wait. So I made the appointment, and the next morning I was on Delta. Guess where I am?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. I consciously made a decision that I was not going to stay home and allow Satan to mentally torture me. I was going to come to Jamaica and hold the hands of my people who are struggling with cancer. Today, all day, I was at Cornwall Regional Hospital at the oncology section. And it is one of my most fulfilling. Let me tell you, when you can give with that, without thinking of getting back something, there is no greater joy like that. You have to experience it to understand what I'm saying to you. And so I want to share with you an experience I had today at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Last October, I did a program with West Jamaica. I was on the platform, West Jamaica Conference. They have that big program.
Yes.
And it was for Breast Cancer Month. The women's ministry Sister Spikel asked me to do the program. And when I was finished, I got a call from someone, and she said to me, Miss, I have a sister who need to do chemo, and I am begging you for you to talk to her. She was supposed to start from over a month ago, and she did not, and she's not going to Cornwall Regional Hospital, and she's not. And so I said, give me her number. And when I called her and I spoke with her, she said, I met you twice. I remember you were on RJR, and I listened. And the next time I met you was when you were in Westmoreland, under the tent. And when she was telling me it was coming back, and I said, you remembered me? And she said, yes. And I said to her, I heard you don't want to go and get your treatment. She said, no, she don't want to go. She's not going back up there. I don't know what her experience was before, but whatever it was not nice. So she was not going back. And I said to her, let us go.
Right.
Not just you, but you and I. Let us go. And we went, and she's been there until now. When I came back last week, she called me. She said they changed her treatment from every 3 weeks doing chemo to every week now.
Wow.
And she has to do a CT scan. Man, may I tell her something? $98,000 for the CT scan. Where poor people forget that the money from? Not dead, you ever dead. That is why may I tell her no. Do no mammogram. Do no pap smear, because when you don't get the news and you have cancer, trust me, we're not going down a dark alley.
An early detection saves
lives. And as I went up there this morning with her CT scan, and the doctor was able to compare it with the first original one to this one. I don't know all the details, but I'm telling you, whatever centimeter it was, it reduced twice. They say it was 3, it's now 1. Isn't God good? We were jumping up and down at Cornwall Regional Hospital today. She was so happy. We went outside and we told her mom, and her mom was so excited. God still works, and is still in the healing business.
As you're listening to Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music, I am your host, Dr. Asha Mwendo. Good evening, Pauline. It's good to have you joining us. And of course, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, and I'm hoping that all my listeners this evening, you are not only getting information, but you are allowing yourself to be educated to the process of transformation and healing. Remember, wellness is a lifestyle, and as a holistic wellness coach, I will say to you, live the life today that you want to live tomorrow. So you start protecting yourself. But we know we spend a whole lot of time messing up the system. Do your tests. Go, if the year have started and you have not gone to the doctor to do your medical, it's time for us, all of us, saying to us now, get in touch with your doctor. Let them write up this thing for you to get all your tests done. For me, one of the sad things for me is that so many of the things you have to go to the private sector to get done. And when you go to the private sector, it's extremely expensive. So I'm calling on Jamaicans in the diaspora. Let's contact our Minister of Health. Let's find out what the gaps are in our health system. Let's come together to see how we can help to fix it, because without health, you have nothing. So early detection, save life. And Yvonne will, as we're coming down to a close for the program now, she's going to just give you some final words, tell us what her journey is, what her plans are, where does she need our help, and what next. So listen up. Continue your story, my dear.
Well, the program that we are going to do, the outreach program, is a community program. So I am doing Sunday church, Monday church, whatever church, Adventist, all the churches. I am doing people. Please get it. We are doing people. So we want one person to tell the other person and come out and do your examination. We also want you to support the walk. It is going to be October 9th, the week before Heroes Weekend. Heroes Weekend will be the outreach program. And I want us to buy our tickets. Also, I need to get into the high schools. I am if anybody knows anyone, if there's any principal listening or any advisor, I need to get into the school, because one of the things I noticed is that when I was diagnosed, my children, they were an asset to me.
Yes.
And when I say an asset, I mean they took care of me. And we need to teach our young people from now, when they are young, not when they are old and you can't bend the tree again. How to take care of your siblings, your mother, and this is how they also will learn how to take care of their wives when they get old. Because we have a problem. We spoil our men them. And they look for everything, they drain everything out of the woman. And the woman just sit there. I don't know, as I said, I don't know if it's a West Indian culture where we teach the woman to take care of everybody else except themselves. We want to be taken care of too. And this is Mother's Day coming up. I want everyone to treat your mom like she's gold, because she is gold. And what else can I say? I just want to leave with everybody understanding that whatever they go through, the Lord is just using them. You're an instrument. It is not about you. It is about the pain that you're going through. It is for a purpose. And because it is for a purpose, we need to glorify God as we go through our purpose. And allow God to lead us.
Okay, so we have the world listening now. And when I say the world, I literally mean the world. Persons who want to partner with this purpose, how will they get in touch with you?
Okay, my phone number is 321-8990. 321-8990. The website is let's fightbreastcancer.org. fightbreastcancer.org. Let's with an S, fightbreastcancer.org. I am on Facebook. My name is Yvonne Headley Dunkley. So my surname is my maiden name is Headley. So on Facebook it is Yvonne Headley Dunkley. You can I'm having one of those moments.
It's all right. It's all right. So the number, give the number again. Put the 876 before it.
876-321-8990.
All right. So you have it. So we are calling upon you to partner with us. And if you are listening this evening and you're attached to a school in Trelawney here and you would like her to come in and talk with the young people, please contact us. Let us know.
And the Sunday church.
And it doesn't matter which church. All churches, we are available to come in and support you in your process as well. And so therefore, just reach out. The churches that normally, Sunday churches that normally reach out to me for me to come and talk, the same thing is being offered to you. So just reach out. We'll come in, we'll speak with you, we'll encourage your women, we'll encourage your men, because it doesn't matter the type of cancer. It's not a man thing or a woman thing. It's a family thing. It's a family affair. And let me tell you, just knowing that someone is there that cares, half the healing starts.
Yes, true.
Half the healing have started. So we're going to give you just a little bit of the music we have been playing up until now. And then I will go into my little moment of inspiration. And then I'll thank my guest and we'll say goodnight.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know where you are. But God said to tell you, it's already done. My friend, you're coming on. You're coming on. God is speaking. I see you wondering why me in the midst of your adversity. God is speaking. But if you dare trust in me, I will supply all you need. I will take you over. I will take you over. I will never leave. To you I will cleave. I'm standing right there in the midst of your faith. I will be your brother, man. Stay close to me, my son. It's already done. It's already done. The victory is won. It's already done. I will not die here, even though I've cried here. The victory is won. It's already done. Ryan, I have to ask why me, why they took me.
Welcome back. You're listening to Dr. Asha Moen on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. And you have been listening to my guest, Yvonne Dunkley, telling her story and encouraging us and inspiring us. So for this evening, as we get ourselves connected and settled, and Healing Moments will go into history for this evening, I want to share my inspirational moment with you. For this inspirational moment, we're saying to you, it doesn't matter where you are or who you are, God can reach you. He is waiting. His arms are open wide and his hand is extended. He's trying to reach you. But you need to reach out and allow him to be part of your life. We're saying to you this evening from Healing Moments, all is not lost. It doesn't matter how bad it is.
It's not.
If you're listening to me, you're listening to my voice this evening, I'm encouraging you as usual. If you are feeling despondent, depressed, and anxious, call me. You know the drill already. Reach out. We will support you through that journey. So remember, you are never alone. No matter how dark it seems, there's always a silver lining at the end of the cloud. And guess what? The rainbow has many colors for a purpose. It shows that all of us belong into that rainbow. So, as I'm saying to you this evening, keep listening to us and keep your hope high because God is walking with you. Thelma says, thanks for all the information, very important. And I know that all listeners benefited from the program and will make good of what was said. Thank you, Thelma. Thank you to all our listeners this evening. We are saying to you, we love you, we care about you. Healing Moments is here for your healing. So remember, you can reach out to me by contacting the station itself. So you can contact the radio station if you want to reach out to me on 876-317-1991 or 876-478-9144. Or you can contact me directly by WhatsApp on 876-870-2284. Your wellness is the best thing you can give to yourself. It's the best thing you can give to your family. So stay blessed. Stay well. It's goodbye from Healing Moments this evening as we thank Yvonne for sitting down with us. Thank Julia, my producer, for being here, my technical producer, for being here with me. Goodbye. Walk good. Stay blessed. We love you. And remember, if you want to reach Yvonne, you can also contact me and we will get her connected with you. The number is 876-870-2284. Love you. See you next week when we have another interesting program lined up for you.
This is Fit FM 96.7.
Oh, yeah.
Duncan Strolordi.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. How many times should I forgive my brother? 7 times 17. What about those that sin against me? Yes, to love my enemy. Won't you please